But the problem arises when that positive emotion, that thrill of the potential win, leads to maladaptive behavior, when the excitement of the gamble makes you bet the rent money. The
Mhm.
researchers wanted to know if these cognitive strategies could dampen the physiological and neural response to a reward cue and, actually change the decision you make.
So let's get into the setup, because this wasn't just asking people to fill out a survey. This was an fMRI study, meaning they were scanning brains while this was all happening. They wanted to see the engine running under the hood.
They started with a pool of participants, but had to narrow it down to 30 for the final analysis. It's a pretty standard procedure, just to ensure clean data without too much head movement in the scanner. And they created a game that essentially mimicked that casino vibe we talked about, but in a very controlled laboratory setting.
They use conditioned stimuli, which is just science speak for pictures that mean something.
Exactly. They trained the participants to associate specific images with specific outcomes. The first one was the hot cue. They called it the CS plus Q. This was a picture of a slot machine.
Uh-huh.
When you saw the slot machine, you knew, I am about to have a chance to win real money.
It's the ding, ding, ding signal for the brain.
And then they needed a control, a boring cue,
The stamp machine.
the stamp machine, the CS minus. When this picture popped up, you knew you were just going to be choosing between two postage stamps. No money, no risk, just filletely.
Which, no offense to stamp collectors, is not exactly a dopamine rush for most people.
No, but it served its purpose perfectly as a neutral baseline. So you're in the MRI scanner, you see a slot machine, your brain naturally goes, ooh, potential cash.
Ah.
But, and this is the core of the study, they didn't just let the participants react naturally every time. They gave them specific instructions on how to think.
This is the regulation part. They were testing 3 specific modes of thinking. First up was look.
Look was the baseline. It meant just look at the picture. Act naturally. Think about the money. Think about the decision coming up. Don't try to change your feelings.
Just let the greed flow, basically.
Then they tried to ramp things up with excite.
This is where it gets fun.
Yeah, for the excite condition, participants were told to imagine an intense, thrilling scene. The example given was riding a roller coaster. The goal here was to take that natural excitement of the gamble and push it even higher.
So you see the slot machine and you mentally strap yourself into a loop-de-loop to get your heart pumping.
Exactly. They wanted to see if they could increase risk-taking.
And finally, the star of the show, relax.
For relax, they were instructed to use imagery-focused regulation. They had to visualize a calming, peaceful scene, a sunny day in a park, nature, a quiet meadow.